How sweet it is to be in first place. Hi again, everyone. I'm James Erpine with allbengals.com and Cincinnati Bengals talk here at M&T Bank Stadium, where the Bengals thrashed, demolished, blew out the Baltimore Ravens 41-17 here today to move into first place, not only in the AFC North, but they, if the season ended today, would be the number one seed in the AFC. How did it happen? What happened? Well, let's start with this Bengals offense, because this is the best performance by this offense all season long. They finished with 41 points for the second straight week. Joe Burrow didn't have to finish the game. The first team offense didn't have to finish the game. That means Brandon Allen sightings and long Samaje Perine touchdowns in garbage time. But what a job. And let's start with Zach Taylor in this offense. Zach Taylor had never beaten Baltimore. They come in here, and really from the get-go, you could tell it was not going to be like last year. Move the ball to the 39-yard line before punting on their first drive. Burrow was taking some hits, but he looked comfortable in the pocket, was moving well in the pocket, sliding up, moving back. And then the offense towards the end of the first half, like they always do, they just decided and found a way to get that rhythm, and it started clicking, and they scored points on 6 of their final 7 possessions of today's game, the first team offense, that is. And the only one that they didn't score on was when Burrow threw the interception. So, in the red zone where they were driving. So this offense, this is what I've been talking about. When you talk about 30-plus points, this is the offense that they have the potential to be, and I think they left a lot out there. I mentioned Burrow's interception. T. Higgins, 15 targets, only 7 catches. I don't think that's going to be the norm for a guy like T. But C.J. Uzomah, 3 catches, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Ja'Marr Chase in space. Look, it was another great day for Team Chase, right? If you were on the Team Chase, look, he's the best rookie receiver I've ever seen. I'm willing to go to that point, and people might roll their eyes or argue or say this or that. Well, he's 21 years old, and he's got 754 yards receiving through 7 weeks. That's the most by any player in their first 7 games in NFL history. Randy Moss didn't do it. Chad Johnson didn't do it. Insert whoever you think. Odell Beckham Jr. was really good as a rookie. Mike Evans was really good. None of them did it. And Ja'Marr Chase, 8 receptions, 201 yards, and a touchdown today. Becomes the 11th rookie in NFL history to have 200-plus yards. The last one to do it was Mike Evans. So that's pretty darn good company. But Chase is just – this was the next box for this entire team. Checking the box. Saying you beat a team like Baltimore, a first-place type team, a Super Bowl contending type team like the Ravens. And don't worry, I'm going to get to the defense. But this offense, if they were going to be on that level, they had to play like they did today. And man, just a complete game from this offense. You're going to have miscues. You're going to have turnovers. Burrow's going to get sacked. Things like that are going to happen. But can you still produce the big plays? Can a guy like Ja'Marr Chase beat Marlon Humphrey regularly, one of the best corners in the game? Joe Burrow called him the best cornerback in the NFL after the game. The answer is yes. And the answer was yes a lot, and a lot, because Ja'Marr Chase, man, I wouldn't want to be chasing him. I don't want to be chasing Chase, and opposing cornerbacks are doing a lot of that these days. As far as the defense goes, they're for real. They're for real. That's my big takeaway, about this team. But this defense, they've gone up now on the road against Pittsburgh, and a lot of good skill players on that Pittsburgh team. I get it, Ben Roethlisberger washed up. You can say that. But, man, they got some skill guys, and the Bengals hold them to 10 points on the road. That's hard to do. Then Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers got an extra period, an extra 10 minutes of game time, and they still only scored 25 points. And then today, the best of them all, the best performance of them all, 17 points. You take that all day long. They stopped the Ravens' rushing attack outside of Lamar Jackson. No one in that Ravens backfield was able to get any traction on the ground. Le'Veon Bell, more washed up than Big Ben. Devontae Freeman had a touchdown on the ground. Didn't look good. Lamar was good running the ball, had 88 yards. But you're going to live with that. You're going to have to give up something. And they did. They gave up one huge explosive to Marquise Hollywood Brown, had that long touchdown. But really outside of that, this defense was awesome. They sacked Lamar Jackson 5 times. Trey Hendrickson got in on the action. Sam Hubbard got in on the action. Larry Ogunjobi got in on the action. And they were damned good. And look, I know for a fact the Bengals, when they were assembling this team and specifically this defense over the offseason and even dating back to last offseason when they got Reeder, they drafted Logan Wilson and Akeem Davis-Gaither and those guys, they did it with the Ravens in mind. And that showed on this field but behind me earlier today. And that is why I think, what reservations do you have about this defense now? Like, what more do they need to prove? Because on all 3 levels, they might not have a superstar, but they have a borderline star or a star, right? Like Logan Wilson is a young, blossoming potential star at linebacker. We know what they have up front with DJ Reeder and Trey Hendrickson and all those boys. By the way, Sam Hubbard had his best game of the year. And then on the back end, Jesse Bates, Von Bell, thank you very much. So this defense, credit Lou Anarumo, credit Zach Taylor for sticking with Lou Anarumo, even though a lot of people were calling for his head. And let's talk about Zach for a little bit, because now Taylor's 7-3 in his last 10 games dating back to last season. They're 5-2 now, first place in the AFC. You got the Jets next week. That should be a winnable, not only a winnable game, it needs to be a win, right? So, and it should be. And so when you're looking at Zach and the culture he was trying to build and is trying to build, it looks like it's working. And good for him. Good for him, because people like me were critical of him, and I think it deserved a lot of the criticism that was thrown his way prior to this season. And he hasn't been perfect this year. There are things that they need to iron out. But they're getting better and better. They're fun to watch. They're scoring when it matters. And they're going into a hostile environment. There were 70,000 people in these stands. And 98% of them were wearing black and purple for the Ravens. And it was silent in the second half. You could hear a pin drop. It was ridiculous. And it's because of this team and the way they're playing at the level they're playing at. And look, they do have weaknesses, right? Like, they absolutely could use an interior offensive lineman. They absolutely could use a starting level edge rusher that could come in and just be another option on defense. But this was very much a prove it game. And the Bengals did more than prove it. They did more than beat the Ravens. They beat the hell out of the Ravens. And so they deserve credit for that as they continue to pick up momentum now. They've won back-to-back games. They're 5-2. First place again in the AFC, not just the North, the AFC if the season ended today, with the Jets looming. And then after that, they return home. So it's a 3-game road trip. They're 2-0. They'll try to get to 3-0 next week against the Jets. And then you got the Cleveland Browns at home. And that's going to be another big game. So this team seems to be ascending. Burrow's getting better. I still think T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, we're going to see those guys go off at some point. And the crazy part about this Jamar Chase explosion, defenses are trying to take him away. What the Ravens did today is they said, you're not going to beat us over the top. And he didn't. He didn't have a deep ball. The 82-yarder was a slant on 3rd and 2. He breaks a tackle, spins out of it, and boom, hits the Jets, hits the turbo button. And another play that was really impressive from Chase was at the end of the first half. By the way, he's the best end of half player on the planet. It's wild, how he always seems to make a play. So he only had one catch going into the Bengals' last drive, and it was under 2 minutes. The Ravens had just tied it 10-10. It was like, okay, played a good half, but it's just tied, and the Ravens get the ball to start the second half. So you want to score here. Chase only had 1 reception going into that drive. He had 3 on that drive alone, including a 26-yarder where he caught it. It was an in route. He caught it on one side of the field, sprinted across the other side of the field, and was able to get out of bounds, outran everybody. And it was like he was in fast-forward mode, like he was a DVD playing at 1.25 speed versus everybody else playing at 1 speed. And, man, just crazy athlete. He just continues to do it. So he's on pace, by the way, for over 1,800 yards, 85 receptions, and 15 touchdowns after today's game. Will he get there? I mean, who knows? But hands down, not only the best rookie receiver, he's been the best rookie through 7 weeks. There's no denying that. We're going to have a ton more for you at allbengals.com. There's a ton there now. I think there's 5 post-game reaction articles, including Joe Burrow reacting to being compared to Joe Montana, an article about Jamar Chase, plus highlights from the game if you happen to miss them, and Russ Heltman's 3-down look, our winners and losers, and so much more. So check it out there at allbengals.com. And then here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk, well, we're going to have a lot more for you too. So hit that subscribe button. I don't think there's another YouTube channel out there going with the team, going on the road, giving picks. By the way, I fought a 3-4 with my prediction. Sound off on me. Let me know, because I got it way, way, way wrong. Because I picked the Ravens to win 31-27. And the Bengals said, no, baby, no. We're winning 41-17. Bengals improved to 5-2. Zach Taylor and the boys are rolling going into week 8. So we're going to have all the latest coverage at Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Ring the bell. We'll do our live chat later this week, as we always do. So get those questions ready. Hit subscribe. And until next time, goodbye for now. I'm James Erpine signing off from M&T Bank Stadium, where, again, the Bengals beat the Ravens 41-17.